I'm annoyed. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Baan, The Boundary of Adulthood. This is our Sunday movie reaction. It's not a donation reward, it's something I have chosen to do that I was already planning on doing since this was first announced. And I said movie in air quotes because this was advertised as a film. It had a theatrical release and everything. But I just found out, like literally just before recording this, that it's like it's shorter than an episode of an anime. And it's a short film. And the thing is, I didn't know that. I went into this today not knowing that this was going to be the case. And I was not prepared for it. I was not prepared for this to be so short. This was my plan for the Sunday movie. And this kind of throws everything into disarray. I have a workaround for this, and you'll see that coming up today too. But yeah, this annoys me. Because again, it shouldn't have been advertised as a film if it's like 18 minutes long. It should be advertised as a short or a special. It just annoys me. It just annoys me. Because it's not a film. 18 minutes is not a film. And it definitely doesn't deserve a theatrical release. Going to a theater for 18 minutes is like dumb. I'm sorry, it is. And I know that, like, back in the day, like, when theaters were new, they would, like, play, like, these animated shorts and stuff there, like Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse and whatnot. But they would also play, like, more than one at a time. And that's when things were, new. When that was still, like, a novel invention that hadn't been, expanded upon yet. We're not talking about the 1940s. It's the 2020s here. Like, what a movie is, what a film is, has a specific meaning nowadays. Sorry, I'm not going to ramble on this forever. It does annoy me because it just threw my plans into a little bit of disarray. But for some context, for those who may not know, this is an anime short that is created by the anime YouTuber and influencer Giguk. Also, his real name is Garnt. I cannot pronounce his last name. I don't even want to try, so I apologize for that. But he is a very famous anime YouTuber who worked with official studios to create this anime short. It was released officially in Japan, again, in theaters for some reason. And now it is being released on his YouTube channel for free. And he already made a statement on social media saying that he actually wants people to react to it. He's not going to copyright claim anything. He actively is saying, please react to this. And so it's like, hey, he's given express permission. Though, mind you, I usually react to things anyway, but still. So when this was first announced, I did see the video. I saw his video first announcing this. And it's like this big deal because he's been like this big anime fan forever, and I believe he lives in Japan. I think he's originally from the UK, but he does live in Japan now, if I'm correct on that. But this was like such a big deal for him. It was a dream of his. And from what I remember from the trailer that it showed in the announcement, it looked like it involved like teleporting between two worlds and like two people, like, I don't know, kind of going on like some kind of student exchange program or something. I don't think they're students. They looked like adults, but yeah. So I'm very curious to see what this entails, to see what this film, like this short, is all about. And I don't know what's going to be told in these 18 minutes. I'm very curious though, and like I want to make clear, like me like complaining about its runtime and everything has nothing to do with like my thoughts on its potential quality. I've seen plenty of shorts out there. I've seen plenty of like animation pilots that never get made into like full shows that have been like fantastic, absolutely wonderful, great content. But yeah, I just the runtime thing annoys me just because it's not what was advertised and expected. And again, it messes with my plans for today. And mind you, I'm recording this on Saturday, one day before, because that's the day this is actually coming out. I actually had to wait for today to get to recording this. But yeah, so we're just gonna get into this and hope for the best. So let's see what we have in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I wanted to look up a couple things because I was unclear about some things, but the Wikipedia page didn't really tell me much of anything. But one thing I did get clear, I looked through it, the video like briefly again. I just kind of skimmed through it. So I was right. She did call him father at the beginning. And from what what I gathered through looking stuff up and everything as well, she was an orphan, and after she escaped and everything, we, by the way, have no idea what happened to the other people at the tower there that were trying to, I guess, defend against the monsters. She ran into Daiichi, and he kind of basically ended up adopting her and the egg that became the new dragon. So that's fascinating. So yeah, he's an adoptive father to her, and that's why she calls him that. But like, she also still calls him Daiichi. Yeah, we get it. And she went to his world, and I guess it was like partially because she didn't want to like burden him anymore or something. I don't know. It's like the problem is this was like, it wasn't even 18 full minutes long. It was more like 17. And it's like, it really felt incomplete. Like it felt like you're watching like a glimpse at a story, like a first look at a movie that's to come later. It just doesn't feel like a complete story. It feels like there's so much context you're missing, so much information, and there was so much I just wasn't able to get from watching this. Maybe watching it more times will be better. Maybe the original Japanese explains things more or better. I don't know. I can't say, and I'm not going to assume. But it felt like you're thrown into like, it feels like this is an episode of a series, but not even the first episode. You know what I mean? It feels like this is maybe like episode like 2 or 3 of a series, and you're missing context that would come before that. And it feels like you're supposed to continue watching after that. And it's like, that's the issue I have with this being only 17 minutes long, is that it just doesn't give you enough time to really like grasp everything on an initial viewing, at least. And maybe part of that is because it's also a reaction and I'm having to react to things. I'm having to like think about things and, actually talk about them as I'm watching. Um, but I still feel like it's just not a huge amount was explained. It's like, why are these two worlds connected through these towers? How did that happen? Like that I feel is pretty pertinent information. When Rin came to the human world, to Earth, how did she get a job? Was it set up for her by whoever is running this tower? Was it something that she had to like reach out to this other woman, this guardian that she had, who was from the other world, who was from Euthania? Was it something that she set up, like prior to Rin coming there? We don't know. She had her own place, her own job, and we have no idea any of the context behind that. We have no idea what led to that in any way, shape, or form. And you may say like, oh, but that's not what this is about. This is more about the emotions and the connections and the characters and their like personal depths and everything. But we don't even get enough of that to fully grasp it all, to fully understand and like connect to them. I feel like there's a lot more you have to like develop with these characters before any of this is going to really like hit you emotionally or connect to you in terms of what it's trying to say. Like an animated short can be great, but it really you really have to have like some kind of context to support it. Otherwise it doesn't really have, in terms of story and character, enough going for it, for me at least. And I'll fully admit, this is my personal opinion, this is my subjective viewpoint based on how I take in media. I want to make that very clear. When I absorb media, when I take it in, I tend to look for story and characters the most. It is what is, for the most part, the most important thing to me. Um, there are some exceptions out there for some things that are, more episodic in terms of shows and whatnot, or when you have like games that are more like party games or whatnot, or like stuff like that. It's like, of course, that doesn't need to have like a huge story to it. But something like this, I feel like does, or at least should. I feel like this would work better if it were double the length. If it were about half an hour long, like you see with a lot of those animated pilots on YouTube, I think that would have given it enough time to really flesh this out a lot better. Um, in terms of, again, a story and character standpoint. Um, I want to say, like, in terms of the animation, the art style, the voice acting, the soundtrack, all of that was perfection. I want to make that very clear. All of that was fantastic. The character designs were great. I love the design of this dragon. My God, I love the design of that dragon. It is so gorgeous. Um, the character designs like stand out really well. They feel like standard anime characters, but they also have personality and depth to their design, and I like that. I like that there's a kind of a blend of both. Um, and then on top of that, the design of the worlds are pretty great too. Even though one of them is just the real world Japan, it's like it still looks really good. It's well drawn and everything. And the design of Euthania is obviously gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's vibrant and exciting. All of that is fantastic. All the voice actors did a wonderful job. The concept, I would even say, is fantastic as well. It's just the pacing of it. It's way too quick and does not give you enough information, at least again for me, to personally get invested in it. Like a lot of these like animation pilots, do a lot more in 30 minutes. And with their time, they make it something you can get super invested in. With like the Amazing Digital Circus or Has Been Hotel, it's like these pilots get you really invested in the characters and the stories and what this world has to offer for each of their respective worlds. And this just for me didn't. And the thing is, I don't know if there's any plans for anything more with this world. I don't know if Garnt has any desires to expand upon this with like more shorts in the future, or supplementary media such as like comics and whatnot, or I guess manga in this case. I don't know if like there's plans for like a full length thing. I don't know. If there is, that could help a lot. Um, but I want to be honest with this. I don't think that it's respectful or kind to lie and just pretend to, fluff something up just because it's made by, a fellow YouTuber, or someone who, has always dreamed of making his own anime and stuff because he's such a massive fan of the medium. I don't think it's right or, good to do that. I think it's better and nicer and kinder to be honest, even when you see a potential flaw. And again, I love the concept. I love almost everything about this. I just think it needed more time to expand upon things. I feel like it needed more time to develop these characters and showcase who they are. Because I can fall in love with the animation and the design work all I want, but it's not going to make me invested in a project if I don't have anything to connect to, if I don't have anything to get invested in. So that's kind of my only hang up with this, is that I just really feel like it should have been longer. And no matter like what you think of that, it's like I feel like it does bring this down a little bit. But it's still like fantastic that this got made, and I still like, support this being like this big dream project in the first place. We should still strive to have creators be able to do this kind of thing. And this is like what, his first like real like official anime. Hopefully this can help Garnt, help Giguk be able to create more. Maybe get a full series like off the ground at some point, or a full length movie. That would be amazing. And like working with these actual studios and these actual like notable names from, anime, I absolutely believe he can get this done. And I feel like he should continue to strive for that. This kind of feels like a proof of concept rather than a complete like, full project. It feels like a proof of concept of what he can come up with and think through, in terms of his desires, his dreams, his hopes, and his love for the medium. And those are needed. I still don't entirely see why this needed a theatrical release for it being so short. Unless it was like in theaters like before a movie or something, before like a full length movie as like a little like short before that. In that case, that's fine. But I just heard it was like a full theatrical thing. I thought it was going to be like a full length movie. So I was still surprised coming into this today to find out that it wasn't. But I still did enjoy it. It's nothing special, nothing to write home about in terms of its actual content, But in terms of what it means and what it stands for creators out there, this is absolutely a home run in terms of like pursuing animation like that. And I think that we should continue to strive to better that and like really push for that to become a bigger deal. So I hope that Giguk, I hope that you can make more awesome content in the future. I hope that you eventually get to make your own series or full length film. That would be like absolutely wonderful. And I will continue to support as it goes on. And just, you know, your content in general. But for everyone watching, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of Bâan, the Boundary of Adulthood? What do you think about its themes? What do you think about its art and animation, its voice acting, etc., etc.? Let me know your thoughts down below. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.